All right, it looks like we've gone live. Hopefully we have, with all the weird tech issues that come with my hastiness to update my computers as fast as humanly possible, and never knowing what the consequences are on older software. But all my cameras had been screwed up, and my camera controller didn't work. I had to get a new software to control that. It's always fun. But actually, the new one I like. It actually is a little bit better, I think, than the old one. So.
Oh, okay.
I'm excited. Yeah. Now I know we had some issues, Steve, with you being frozen up. So let's pop on over to Facebook and we'll take a quick look before we get started with the show.
Yeah, it looks fine to me.
Does it? It looks good. All right. It looks good for what we look like. That's good.
That's weird. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. And it looks like did you share it to Video Marketing Madness manually?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, because it seems like our little sharing thing isn't doing what it's supposed to any longer, and I'm going to have to go figure out why. So before we get really started with this, I'm going to share this to some of our other popular locales.
Sure.
And make sure that they get that. We'll send it to this one here. I wish Facebook would allow us to send it to more than one at a time, but they don't do that. They don't allow that for whatever reason.
Maybe Facebook changed the API too,
It could well be. It could well be. I'll have to find out for sure. They've definitely changed something because I had to reconnect all of my Facebook stuff on everything recently. My phone, my computer, inside Mimo Live that we use to create these videos. We had to do it on all of those. So they must have changed something, or something has changed with or without them. So. But in any case, today we're going to be talking about something a little bit more fun. We're going to be talking about how to make videos when you don't know how. That sounds like a crazy title, but there's a lot of folks out there that want to be able to create videos for clients or their own business, and they just don't have a clue on how they can do that. So we're going to talk about a few ways that you can easily make videos without having to have big tech knowledge and fancy cameras and all that kind of fun stuff. So I think it will be good, and yeah, so let's get the show on the road. Are we ready?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm good.
All right. Then here we go in 5, 4, 3. On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to share how to make videos when you don't know how to make videos. That's right. We're going to show you some really cool ways that anybody can start making videos for their business or other businesses. And today's episode is made possible by me. We've got a webinar on advanced video creation for people that don't know how to create videos, and that's going to be on October 30th at 8 o'clock p.m. So the day before Halloween, we're going to scare you up some new information on how to make videos. Get that? See, I said scare you up for Halloween. That's pretty clever. And so this is going to allow you to learn a really good way to create videos for businesses based off of the reviews that they have online, and you can do it very quickly, very easily. It'll have spokespeople in it. It'll have information in it, and you don't have to do much of anything other than set it up to go, and it creates all of it for you. So you can make some really good stuff very quickly and turn around and sell that to local businesses. So if you need a business opportunity that deals with local businesses and you want to do it with video, well, this is your opportunity to do so, and you don't need any video experience in order to do this. So be sure to join us on October 30th. The link is down below. It's 800 miles long. It's a GoToWebinar link, so you'll have to look down there to click on it. Just click it and go, and you'll be happy. And Steve, of course, you can put that into the replays in the link as well. So there you go. All right, with that, I guess we're ready to hit the funky music. And so hey, look, my phone's ringing, and then they hang up. I get that a lot. That's weird. All right, here's the music. Here we go.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
I happened to mention on the Facebook Live that it's frozen on my end. Now I got a picture of you making that face.
Nice.
That's what I'm going to have to look at the rest of the show. And I
That's
got
a good
my
one.
eyes closed. Yeah. So, for those of you watching the Facebook Live or listening to the audio on the podcast, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But anyhow.
Yeah, well,
it's,
let's talk about that because one of the things we're talking about today is how to make videos. And, this that we're doing right now, I've got the little fancy lights in the wall back there and a webcam and a nice microphone. But really, what we're doing now is pretty easy to do with just your built-in webcam. So like even on my computer here, I've got a built-in webcam, and I could certainly use a much cheaper mic and do the same types of things. Certainly not going to look as polished or or maybe not sound quite as good, but you could do that with this. And we use a specialized software, but there are free softwares out there like OBS that will do these kinds of things to you, the Open Broadcasting System. And you can download those programs and do the same types of things that we're doing without having to spend a fortune on stuff. And, there are some tech issues with that. There's a lot of different things that we deal with. And the biggest thing we're dealing with here is, of course, I've got my beautiful iMac Pro, and they came out with the new version of the operating system the other day. And, of course, all excited, I updated it to that. And there's a lot of software that's not quite compatible yet. And fortunately, our main software is. But, some of my camera control software, it wasn't. I had to get a new one, which is no big deal. It cost $7, and actually I like it better. So little things like that. And we've had a couple other issues with, dealing with cameras and permissions because the new operating system is a lot more secure. They make sure that security is a high priority. So they're always like, okay, do you want to use your camera with this website? People are going to see you. And it's like, yep, I do. So we had to go through some of those types of things. But it's well worth it because, think about this, we can broadcast to the entire planet, which is something that even news organizations, they spent millions to be able to do this. And now idiots like us can broadcast all the way to Africa and Asia and Australia, without spending a penny on anything. We could just go on to Facebook Live or YouTube Live and broadcast live to the world. Sorry, CNN, you spent billions, and we're doing it for $50. So there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, we've talked about this a million times. Yeah, I'm an old guy, so back in college it was all analog, big Grass Valley switchers. You'd have hundreds of thousands of dollars into a studio.
Yep.
I probably spent a couple $100.
Yep.
Maybe five.
Yep.
Maybe five.
I've spent a little more because I take it pretty seriously, but
right.
The microphone that we use here, this is actually an actual studio radio mic, an Electro Voice ER.
Something or other.
Electro Voice, I forget the name. It's something. I can't even think of it now. But in any case, this is the reason I got this is because a good friend of mine, TJ DeSantis, who's a radio guy and he does a lot of podcasting. He showed me that one, and that's the one that I picked up. Is that one, and it was actually pretty expensive, but well worth it. I think it has a nice sound. So, I've got a nice microphone, but this could be replaced by a Blue Yeti. You could go to Best Buy and grab a Blue Yeti for $100 and have a really good podcasting system and broadcasting system,
Well, I've got an Audio Technica that was $100, and it's a professional mic. It's got XLR output. It's
Uh-oh. Now Steve really did freeze, so he was all excited about that, and now he's frozen up. So I'm not sure if he's going to come back here. But we're going to get into how, and hopefully we're still live here even without Steve, but we're going to talk about how to make videos when you don't know how to do that, and some of the great techniques you can use for that. And obviously what we're talking about is, right here, we're broadcasting to the world with video with just a webcam and a microphone and a simple software. And I think Steve is back.
Yeah,
Welcome
that was
back.
weird. Yeah, that was weird. All of a sudden, Google just said, "Oh, snap!" And
yeah, there's been for those of you who are watching in the future, it's October 2019, and there has been a ton of different internet issues over the last couple of weeks where Amazon S3 had issues and Google had issues. I don't know, it was very crazy, but so we're soldiering on as best we can. But I was just telling them, Steve, that if we're going to make videos when you don't know how, this is one of the ways you can do that. You can make content just by talking into a webcam or your phone. it's not difficult to do a Facebook Live, and you can grab your phone and do it. You could do it from your desktop. You could do a YouTube Live. You could go live on Periscope. And all of these things will allow you to make content very quickly and very easily, even if you really don't have any video experience. You go live on Facebook, you don't need to edit your videos. You don't have to do anything with them other than do them, get them out there, and they're going to start to bring you traffic. Now, you can do this with local businesses as well. In fact, I don't know if this has ever happened yet, but I was talking to a good friend of ours, both of ours, by the name of Mike Stewart back a little while ago. And one of the things that he was talking about doing was there's a very famous cafe in the Nashville area where a lot of big country music stars will just randomly show up and start playing. And they were talking about, setting up live cameras from in there so that at any time they could just go boop live to the world and show, whatever famous musician is just showing up there and playing. It's the famous Bluebird. And, imagine that. You could just broadcast to the world anytime you wanted, very quickly, very easily. And that's one way that you could bring something to a business, even if you don't have a lot of video experience. Broadcasting live for them, showing up and doing a live broadcast is pretty easy these days. As a matter of fact, in what we do, and sorry, Steve, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, go ahead.
In some of the things that we do here, for instance, I'm doing this live with Steve. We're literally live, but you could provide a service where you're just the back end. So in this case here, Steve is at his house in Alaska where he lives, and I'm here in Texas where I live, and I just made both of those things up. But the point being
it's true. It's true. I'm hunting wolverines. I'm hunting wolverines with my uncle.
Nice, yeah. Absolutely. That's a good thing to do, and you're just jealous because I'm going to be a cage fighter. So
yeah, that's right.
And people in the future or young people are like, what the heck are these guys talking about? Yeah. But you'll have to go look that up. Cage fighting and hunting wolverines with my uncle. Look it up, and you'll learn what we're talking about. But in any case, the point is we're in multiple different locations, and Steve is just on his microphone with his webcam. Same for me here, and I'm controlling the whole show, so I can do all sorts of things from here. I can change this to just me, or go back to both of us. I can turn off the news crawls. I can do make the station logos go away. All of that stuff. And by the way, if you're not watching this live and you're only listening to this, I'm manipulating things on the screen like a TV studio. And what's great about this is I could be just behind the scenes, and I could have Steve in one state and somebody else in another state doing a show together, and I'm just producing the show from here. You don't see me, you don't hear me, but I can run the show. And that's one way that you can do video very easily for a business. Now, it requires a little bit of an investment. Obviously, you're going to have the software to do it. In this case here, we're using a software called Mimo Live, Mimolive. It's Mac only, so you got to have a Mac. But you can actually bring in people from remote locations and do back and forth interviews, or even just one person. If it's a solo podcast, you could be doing it from behind the scenes, or a solo TV show, or whatever it happens to be. Yes, Steve.
I think Zoom's got something now, too.
Yeah, Zoom's very similar. Obviously, it's not specifically built for that exact purpose, but you can do a lot of that in Zoom as well. And you can produce those types of things. This obviously is much more advanced as far as all the video production stuff you can do. But you could use Zoom, and by the way, you can use Zoom start off for free. You don't even have to pay anything. They certainly do have paid upgrades, but you could do this kind of work on Zoom completely for free. You can do some of this work on OBS completely free, and all you have to have is somebody remotely with a camera and a microphone, so you don't even have to worry about that. You start the software, you bring them in, and boom, there you go. You can produce their show for them very quickly and easily. One way that you could really take advantage of that is have a local, live show maybe. And we lost Steve again. Either that or he fell asleep or had a stroke. But you could have some sort of live show where maybe you interview local business owners. So you talk to John Smith and talk about his barbershop, or you talk about, somebody else's, dentist location, whatever it happens to be. You interview these people and do it live and get traffic back for them. So that's another way that you could really help them out to be able to do that. But, you know, again, this is actually probably more advanced than some of the things we're going to talk about in a second that make life a little bit easier for you. But this is one way that you could very easily get into video without knowing a whole lot, is just broadcasting live, whether it's just with your phone and your webcam or whether you're doing some sort of a system like we're doing here. Either way, it's not overly difficult. If I can do it, anybody can do it. That's what I always, I always tell people. And so you just got to get out there and do that. But that's one way to get started with video right away, is to just grab those cameras, grab that phone, and just start broadcasting live where you don't have to edit things down. Now, the next type of thing that you can do if you don't know how to do video, and this is going to be kind of obvious, is hire somebody. If you're working with local businesses and they're paying you to produce videos, hire somebody to go out and shoot those videos. You could get a videographer in your area, probably, and this is one of the secrets, is look up who the wedding videographers are in your area. They've got cameras, they've got lights, they'll come out, they'll shoot it. It'll probably be very affordable, and they're probably excited to do it because, as a former wedding videographer myself and knowing a lot of them, they're always looking to break out and do some of these other types of things. And you can get them for, an entire day for $300 with a camera and a light, and do interviews, videotape a location, and they're very good at what they do. They know what they're doing because they're used to doing these shoots where you can't make a mistake. So you get them out there, they'll do that for you. They'll get a nice shoot for you, of a local business, of an interview, and you can very easily start to produce video, and you don't have to know anything other than their phone number. Steve, what do you think of all that?
Well, that's pretty cool. The other thing that's good about it is they show up with some really nice looking equipment, as opposed to maybe you showing up with your iPhone. Now, the iPhone does a fine job, but lots of times customers will look at that iPhone and say, does this guy know what he's doing? So
Yep.
the wedding photographer is going to have all the fancy equipment.
Yeah, and that's really true. And I think that's changing a little bit nowadays. People are starting to kind of expect, people shooting on phones a little more. And there's ways around that, by the way. Dealing with clients, you tell them, hey, we want this to be simple. We want this to be personal. You bring your phone and you do that. But hiring the videographer, again, it's going to be a more impressive system that they bring. It's going to be inexpensive. They're going to do a really good job for you. And you don't have to know anything about that. Now, obviously, when they shoot those interviews or that business video or whatever it happens to be, you now need to edit that. If you're not an editor, you're going to need to get somebody to help you with that, or you're going to have to learn how to do the basics. Now, one great way to learn the basics is to download a free program. And this is, by the way, this is not a basic, simple editor. There are editors out there, programs, that might cost $100, $200 that are not as good as this particular free one that you can get. And it's called HitFilm. And the version that you want is HitFilm Express. And HitFilm Express is as powerful as Final Cut Pro and Adobe Premiere, but they give it away for free. Now, you might be thinking, well, how good can it be if they're giving it away for free? But they give it away for free in the hopes that you'll buy upgrades to it. You'll buy transition packs and special effects and things like that. And that's how they make their money off of this. But it is a professional program. And they do have a Big Brother version that costs a lot of money that a lot of higher-end producers purchase. That's not something that you would need. But the basic version, the Express version, is very, very powerful program. And again, they make their money by adding cool upgrades, but you can get away with downloading it and putting together your work without ever paying a single penny unless you really wanted something to add into that. So I would highly recommend you check it out. The website is fxhome.com, and I think it's /express, but that's where you'll find it. But just look up HitFilm Express and you'll be able to get that. And you'll be able to take that video that these guys shot for you, bring it in there, and put together a basic edit. And if you can't, well, guess what? There are a bunch of people on places like Upwork that will gladly do this for you for very low prices. Even Fiverr, you might be able to find an editor that'll do that for you. There's probably local college kids that will come in and do it for you, even high school kids that will come in and put these videos together for you. And so if you think about this, you want to go out there and make video, but you don't know how, you get a client that's willing to pay $1,500 for you to come out and shoot a video, and it costs you $300 to bring in that shooter and another $200 to get the video edited by either somebody in another country or maybe a local student. and you spent $500 to make $2,000. And really, you didn't spend anything. They spent $2,500, and you gave $500 of that to them. So you make $2,000 without ever even touching that video. So do not be afraid to use the outsourcers for these purposes, because it's going to make your life easier, and you're going to be able to do more. Because if you got to do all that manually, well, you might only have that one client for the entire week because you got to do all that work. If you've got somebody else doing most of that other work, you can be working on another project, because that person, let's say that person comes out, they shoot that video for you for $300. They're done. If you got another shoot 2 days later, they can show up for another $300 and do another one. You don't have to worry about, them being trapped into anything or you being trapped into anything. You can move ahead very quickly because you're just producing the content. And that makes life a whole lot easier. All right, so another way to make videos when you don't really know how is to start doing screen capture videos. Now, you kind of have to learn how, but this is something that you can learn to do very easily. Okay, there's a lot of great programs that will allow you to record your screen. So imagine that you want to create a video for somebody that shows off a piece of software. You can go in, you can screen capture that software and talk about it and make a nice video that they can use as training. They can use it as demos. And I actually, believe it or not, I don't know if you know this or not, Steve, I used to do a lot of this. I used to get it through Fiverr. I used to do, when I was first getting started, I would do screen capture videos through Fiverr. Hey, I'll do a screen capture video of your software up to, 30 seconds for $5 or whatever it was at the time. Yeah, cool. and we did quite a bit of it, and a lot of people hired me, for much bigger projects based off of that, and we weren't doing them through Fiverr anymore. But it allowed me to really kind of get things going, make a little bit of money, and put together these videos, and they're not very hard. You just, I think about it, if you've got a nice, simple software, you make a video, do a screen capture of that software, and boom, you're ready to go. You didn't have to be on camera. You'd have to hear your voice, but you would just show people, demonstrate how to do it. They would hear your voice, they would see the screen, and you could put these out very quickly. Programs like Camtasia on the PC or the Mac, programs like ScreenFlow on the Mac, those will all do that. And even, believe it or not, QuickTime. You can, if you got QuickTime on your Mac, you can actually do screen capture directly through that. So there's a lot of different ways to do that. There's even free programs out there that have screen capture built into them, like Screencast-O-Matic, and those will help you to do a lot of these things without much experience and without having too big of a learning curve. I shoot, screen capture videos pretty much every day, testing software, testing products, websites, and, it takes me 10 minutes to put these together and boom, get them out the door. So you can do it very quickly and easily, and you don't need to know a lot of high-end video production in order to get these things put together. It's very simple, very easy to do. What about you, Steve?
I use them for communicating with my clients all the time. I can't type worth a darn.
Yep.
And so I just fire up. I use Camtasia because I like it a little better than Jing, but it's just a personal preference. But I fire up Camtasia. I make a video, upload it quick to YouTube, and send it to the client. They can actually see what I'm talking about. And the thing that I always worry about when I'm doing SEO for clients is that I'm using jargon they don't understand, but it's part of my everyday vocabulary. So if I make a video for them...
Steve froze up again. So we're having some real internet issues with poor old Steve there, but he's right. And we do the same thing on this end too. I do evaluations of YouTube channels, evaluations of websites, evaluations of reputation, and then that way I can send those things out to the clients, and it makes it much easier. So making videos for your clients, telling them what's going on, making evaluations or audits is a great way to do that, and it doesn't require a ton of skill. And Steve is back.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on today. I've got the join URL bookmarked right now, so I can just hit it.
Yeah, it seems like there's some sort of internet issue going on today that's messing things about, but that's okay. We can still move on without worrying about that, as long as we don't both go down, especially on my end, because, like I said, I'm controlling it all here. So if I go down, then the whole thing goes down. So hopefully that will stay up. So another great way to be able to create videos when you don't really have a lot of skills is to use something like PowerPoint or Keynote. you can go in and you can create all sorts of great presentations and then export them as videos, or use them with the screen capture tool that we just talked about to do a presentation. Now, if you think about, for instance, a webinar, people use PowerPoint, they do their webinar presentation, and people listen to it. Well, you could do the same thing as a video. Set up the PowerPoint or the Keynote, go through it and talk as if there's an audience, and record the video. And now you've got a video very simply and very easily with a lot of information, with pictures and images and text, and you can put it out immediately without having to put a lot of extra effort into it. You can also use these programs to create a more traditional video as well. So if you've got a script, and I'll explain this right now. For instance, I've got a client right now that we're doing a very simple video for. I've got somebody recording a traditional voiceover, and I'm going to just use a nice animated PowerPoint template or Keynote template to create this nice little video that matches their styling, because they've got some brochures and things like that they're going to be giving out with this same information. And so I'm making what I call basically a brochure video. It's a Keynote PowerPoint style video with their colors and their logo and similar text and whatnot, with the voiceover going along with it. And so that's going to allow us to make a video very quickly and easily without having to do much. So if you've got PowerPoint, you've got Keynote, you can put together presentations and get something out very quickly and very easily. And that's another way to do that.
And another thing, just a pro tip with PowerPoint, make sure your screen is set, or your page is set for 16 by 9.
Yes.
It's important. And I think PowerPoint now, the new versions give you that option almost automatically, but something to keep in mind.
Yeah. Usually by default, the older versions of those programs tend to be square, so you want to make sure that they're widescreen so that they fit the more modern formats, unless you're going to be putting it out directly to Facebook, in which case being square actually gives you more space on Facebook, so you could go that direction as well. So just know where you're going to put it and make your decisions based off of that. And we do that all the time, by the way, because if I'm going to put something out for Facebook, I'm going to put an end screen on the end so that I can use the YouTube end screens. If I'm going to put it out on Facebook, I'm going to remove that and make some changes, So you have to get used to making a few changes with those different things. But creating it with a PowerPoint or a Keynote, very easy way for anybody to do that, because you can build it basic. You don't need to build something crazy. There are some amazing, crazy PowerPoint templates that I've seen that just they blow my mind, the things that people can do with PowerPoint and Keynote with animations and everything else. And I just sit there and go, oh my gosh. But you don't have to be that crazy with it. You can keep it very simple and make a very nice video that can inform people. And that's what those are really for. They're not meant to be flashy most of the time. They're meant to inform, so they're very straightforward. But it's an easy way to do that. Okay, another way to be able to do that is to buy videos. There is a lot of pre-made content out there ready for you to use. There's a lot of websites. There's a lot of locations. We're talking places on the low end like Animoto, which are okay. And, some people like them. They make these kind of weird animated text video things, and I've never been a huge fan, but they're out there. They're usable. You can go out there and you can get them, and you can do that. There's pre-made content, even on places like Video Hive has some pre-made commercial content on there that you can grab and modify. Of course, we for years have been making instant spokesperson videos, which are videos for specific businesses. So we've got, I want to say, just under 300 different niches, from doctors to lawyers and dentists and plumbers and pest control and everything in between, from vape shops to tattoo removal. And those videos are, I'm going to say, 99% ready to go. All you have to do is take them, put the client's logo and name on them, and you've got a video ready to go. And you can do it very inexpensively, and it's pretty good. And the great thing is, once you use products like that, a lot of times the people that you sell them to, these clients, they'll come back to you and they're like, well, we really liked that, but can you do a video with us in it? And now you can sell them, a $1,500 to $2,500 package of videos where you actually go out and shoot with the people we talked about earlier. But if you can get this pre-built content ready to go, it makes it very easy to get started. Some of my other good friends, Nick Mancuso, he makes pre-made videos like this as well. You've probably seen them around. and there's a lot of them out there that do that, but you can go out and search for pre-made video content, and you can get videos for all sorts of things that you can then use to make sure that you put out these beautiful videos. And they're probably going to be better than what you might be able to produce on your own without a lot of work.
I use them. I use them all the time. It's they're a lot better than what I'm ever going to do. I'm not a videographer. I'm a YouTube marketer, and I know the back end of YouTube and how to optimize everything like the back of my hand. So I just need to have a way to have videos, and all these things that you're talking about it's the way I do it.
Yep. And then the final thing that I want to talk about is, and this goes back to the beginning when we had the webinar that we mentioned, which is down below, is using services that make the videos for you. And the one that I'm talking about here is from a good friend of mine named David Sprague. He's got a product called Rep Videos. And if you haven't seen this, you probably have seen this, because those videos tend to be all over the internet, and you may have seen them. They're the ones that oftentimes the thumbnail shows like a background with stars going across it and says 5-star review. And what these do is they create the videos for you 100%. And the way it works is you pull in the reviews from a client. So if they've got a 5-star review on Google, it'll turn that review into a video with a spokesperson, and the spokesperson will come in and they'll say, take a look at, one of our 5-star happy customers, or whatever it says, with a spokesperson with your company name and information on it. And then it literally shows somebody holding an iPad, and the review is on the iPad, and you can put a voiceover in that actually reads it. So you go to Fiverr and you have somebody do a reading of each of those that you're going to use. It puts it in there, and it makes an entire video for you from their reviews that they have, all in one shot. Very, very clever, very cool stuff. And like I said, very popular. I see them all over the web all the time. When I'm going into areas, I see these things in there constantly. I'm like, in fact, I talk to a lot of potential clients, and I'm like, hey, I see you're using these rep videos. And I kind of, play I help the guy who actually creates the software that does this. I work with him all the time, and kind of get an in with them, because they've used it not with him, they've used it with another marketer who is selling those products. But you can have these things built very quickly and easily. In fact, like I said, on the 30th, we're going to have a webinar that's going to show you how you can do that, how you can not only create videos, that's going to be part of it, but he's going to teach you strategies with video to really make a big difference in your marketing. And then we'll show you how you make videos very quickly and easily with that, and how you can sell them. And so you can actually build an entire business doing this without ever having to produce your own video. And when I tell you it's easy, I mean, you go in the back end, you pull in the videos you pull in the reviews that you want, and it just makes a video and sends them out. And it does it quick and easy, nice and quick. And it makes beautiful stuff, and people love it. So they love those videos. And so that's another way you can do that. What's that, Steve?
Content Samurai.
Content Samurai. Yep, there's another one that can do the same type of stuff.
You plug in your copy. It pulls up the royalty-free photos, the free photos, from like Pixabay and stuff. And also it has video clips, and then you can change them if it's not appropriate. You can change the photos, and they're typically about, it switches about every 10 seconds. Real easy to do. Now, I do my own voice work, but yeah, you can get a voice track from Fiverr real easily.
And here's something too, before we get out of here today, to think about with this. We talked about some of these that, Content Samurai, does it make an Oscar-winning video? No, it doesn't. No. Does Animoto make an Oscar-winning video? Definitely not. But there's something to be said for these videos beyond people actually watching them. Because people watching, you think these are videos, you want people to watch them. But beyond watching videos, this is content that can help to drive traffic and build SEO value, regardless if anybody watches these videos. If you think about this, if you build some Animoto videos, and they're just kind of these goofy little videos, I can't stand them, as you can tell. But if you build a bunch of these, put them onto YouTube, and in each of those videos, you're putting links back to your website. You're putting Google My Business info so that you're getting citations. You're going to get some of this juice regardless of whether or not the video is any good and people are watching it. It's the fact that it exists and the fact that these links are in there that can really make a big difference. Now, we always want to strive for things that people want to watch, but there's a good strategy to just creating videos that provide simple information that have all these SEO values in there that can help to boost Google My Business, boost websites, drive traffic, and things of that nature. So do not be afraid to build content. It's better to build okay content than to never build it because you're striving for perfection. So get out there and use what you can.
And what I do with them is, as you were saying, optimize them for SEO.
Yep.
So they do show up in Google, but then we're embedding them all over the place on Web 2.0s. So that's
absolutely, because that's all traffic again. And going back, we know, and we had tested this for so long with different things. A lot of times people don't watch your videos, but they do call the numbers on there. When we used to rank videos to page 1, which is, it's a little more hit or miss these days, and they don't provide the same information on page 1 with the videos that they used to. But we would put a video out there and it would have a phone number in the title or in the description there, and people wouldn't watch the videos. They would see that thumbnail, they'd see the phone number, and they would just pick up the phone and call. And so there's a lot of value to that as well, having a good thumbnail and title that allows people to call, even if they don't watch your video, but they see your number, they give you a call. That's just as good as anything else. So be sure to build that content. Do not be afraid of the technology. Do not be afraid to create a video because you don't know how. There are plenty of options out there for anybody that needs to create video or wants to create video. So get out there, check it all out. And of course, if you have any questions about it, Steve and I are always around. You can ask us. We're glad to chat people up about these types of things. So Steve, any last words about creating video content?
Well, Ray has given you all the ways to do it, so just go out and do it. That's the big thing. Nothing happens until A, you sell something, and then B, produce it.
Yep, absolutely. And, we do that quite a bit, and we see a lot of success with these types of video programs. So, it's just a matter of doing something. Think about this, folks. How many times have you gone to a website that looked absolutely horrendous or seen a video that looked absolutely terrible? Somebody paid to have that stuff there. So there's people out there that know that, hey, I need a website. I'm going to pay this guy $1,000 to do a website. Even if the website stinks, they paid to do it. So you know that they're going to pay for these types of things if you can get in front of them and show them that it makes a difference. And it will make a difference if it's done right. So just got to get out there and do it.
And, this is, I think, a good example here. You've got Ray, who's a good videographer. I mean, he's got a background in TV. That's what he went to college for. I'm really not a videographer, but if you look at my videos, they look okay, because I'm using Instant Spokesperson. Yeah, I'm using Content Samurai. I'm using all the stuff that I've been taught, and I'm getting results. And, of course, I know how to optimize a video. I know how to embed them.
And there goes Steve again. He knows how to embed them. And all of that is all you need to be able to start really making a difference. If you can embed those videos, and, one little secret with that, creating videos, putting them on YouTube, optimizing them on YouTube, and then putting them onto a client's website once they're optimized is going to make a big difference, not only for the video, it's going to make a big difference for that website. And, it's that reciprocation. So if you got a video about a car accident lawyer and you're working with a personal injury lawyer, you embed that car accident lawyer video on their car accident page and you optimize the video and point to that page, you're going to get a lot of reciprocation there. It's going to help both of those things to rise. And so it can make a big difference. That's what we like. Only downside is for that to really work, you got to use the YouTube player, which,
Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
Yeah. But, with the Web 2.0s that we're using, it doesn't really make that big a difference. It's just when you get to your website that, it's not real pretty. But anyhow.
Yes, indeed. So, well, there you go. As we said, everything we talked about works, but only if you do. So you got to get up, get out there, and start doing the things that are going to make a difference for not only you, but for your clients when it comes to video. So grab your phone, grab a little microphone. And by the way, if you need a microphone if you're going to shoot with your iPhone, you need to have a decent microphone. So head on over to pocketvideopro.com/LV1 for less than $20. You can get a lapel microphone that's going to make you sound a whole lot better. So be sure to do that. Get ready, get set, get out there, start shooting videos, start using them to drive traffic. And I guarantee if you do, you will see results.
Mm-hmm.
And there
Very
you
good.
Go.
Yeah. Well, let's.
So we mostly made it through another episode, Steve.
Boy, I kept getting kicked off one of those deals. That's the internet for you, buddy. It happens sometimes.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So you've got a webinar coming up on how to make videos that probably is going to go into more depth. Talk about that.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's going to be myself and David, and we're going to go in there and we're going to tell you all about the strategies behind why you build certain types of videos, why you create certain types of content, and then we're going to show you how his program, Rep Videos, does it all for you automatically, very easily, and you can blast out videos like a mad person. My dental client, I haven't started doing this with my new dental client yet, but I'm going to be doing it. He's got 4 different locations, and each one of those locations has well over 200 reviews on each one. So if you think about that, if each one had 200, and I know one of them has like 380, all 5-star reviews, by the way, which is crazy. We can actually build a video for each and every one of those 5-star reviews. Every single one. And think about the content. Oh, and by the way, I can set it up, sit back, go on vacation, and it's going to keep building them for me automatically and putting them out for the next, for 200 videos. I mean, if you do one a week, that's 4 years. So
that's great.
We could literally set up for 4 years and be on vacation and still be getting those videos out there. So it's a very, very cool program. Very, very exciting to get that out there and to show you that one, because I think it's one that can make a big difference in your marketing with video. So, and it's an easy sell. And what do you think, Steve? Now that you're back.
Yeah, now that I'm back. So this David Sprague product, is it different? Is it separate from his usual reputation marketing program then?
Yeah, this is Rep Videos. So he does have Rep Kahuna, which is a whole reputation marketing system that helps people get 5-star reviews and syndicates the 5-star reviews out and sends out pictures of the 5-star reviews onto Facebook and Google and all that. Now this is all about videos. So it's all completely about using reputation for video. So the one thing you do have to have, though, is you got to have some reviews. So if you don't have reviews, that's actually an opportunity. You can go out and help people to get more reviews and charge them for that too before they do the videos. So,
well, that's cool. I look forward to that. Yep. I'm going to put it on the calendar.
Absolutely. So that will be October 30th, the day before Halloween, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and 5 o'clock on the West Coast.
Very good.
There you go. Yeah. All right. So with that, another episode has come to a close. So for Steve, I'm Ray the Video Guy, and we hope that you join us next week for another exciting episode of Video Marketing Madness. And with that, should we hit the funky music one more time?
Hit the funky music, Ray.
All right. Here we go.
He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the Video Guy, yeah, Ray the Video Guy.